quite right to be worried, Melinda. So what I always do, I never twist it, okay? Because twisting can cause a scissoring of the blades or a crack. So when I'm removing the reed, if it's tight, I'm always rocking it up and down like this and holding it as low down as possible. I push it in by rocking it backwards and forwards like that. Never ever twisting these reeds. And it's the same with if you've got an aulos that has these parts here. It's so important. You never hold it far away. You hold it close to the joint. Taking things apart is a risky moment. So, let's see now. Intonation also depends on lip compression. So what's in tune for one person might not be the same for another. However, hopefully these will be a little bit closer now. What am I doing? Confused. Am I in the same place? I think so. That's one of the things, joys of alloy, they're all different. And so you've got to reconfigure your brain every time you pick them up. What was I doing? Okay, so I'm having to do a tiny little bit of embouchure manipulation, but less than before. I'd be happy with that because the reeds haven't been played. You know, I know that as that reed warms up, it will go sharper in the top.
Because it opens or not?
Maybe it becomes more flexible, and it's quite. I prefer having to maybe it's a case of where you're playing on the lip. If you're playing, I've learnt over the last 3 years not to push the reeds too far in, but to play almost as far out as possible, right on the edge of the lips, and that gives you more control. Is that the same for oboe playing?
Yeah, you place the reed in the middle of the bottom lip to tuck it in, and this is really important because the position of the reed affects tuning and tone. Too much reed in, you make a sharp, tight sound. Too much out, it's too loose and wild. So it has to be exactly in the right place.
Wow. That range between loose and wild and tight and focused is one of the beauty. We have that timbrel. You know, I suppose there is a sweet point in the middle, but it's sometimes going to that loose and wild place can be expressively interesting, and maybe it helps for embouchure development.
So, I mean, the next question actually, how do you know when it's sounding right? Because it's this thing of hearing the partials within the fourth or the octave.
Okay, yes. I am listening to those harmonics, upper harmonics, an octave or an octave and a fifth, even higher than that. I'm wanting those to interlock precisely. Because if they're slightly out, then you hear the interference beats. And that sensory dissonance, while it may be desirable for certain, when you're playing with tension, it's what I'm seeking right now for tuning is perfect, the smoothness. There's something magical that happens when the harmonics interlock.
So where do you hear those? In your head or within your oral space? Am I going to hear them now when you do that?
Hopefully, yes. You know what? I need to configure my brain before I play. What fingering am I actually wanting to produce? I'm hearing. That's the note that's coming out for me when I'm tuning that unison. Can you hear?
I'm trying to. Not yet.
Up there.
Not yet.
I mean, it's not a pronounced one.
Yeah.
I'll try the fifth. Maybe there'll be a more pronounced harmonic with that. And what happens
Yeah.
with the
Yes.
is when it's out of tune, it goes.
Yes.
So it's exactly like tuning a piano or a harpsichord.
Yes.
You're listening to the interference beats
The
in the
vibrations.
upper harmonics. And that one at the 10th is very common
Yeah.
with this sound. I mean, it might be at the 12th. It's not a 10th. It's above that.
Yeah.
But it's the major third.
Yep.
So let's just do that tuning test again. The Hagel test, which should be a unison and an octave. So when I'm playing that, I'm hearing a harmonic that's much higher, and just getting the wobble out of it, so that it's in tune. That's what I'm doing.
Yep.
So I'm hearing that one quite clearly. So I'm hearing another one. There are several, and if you change your attention, you can sort of tune into a different one.
Yeah.
I think basically these reeds, as you say, they don't give you a lot of
They're
scope.
forgiving.
They're forgiving in the sense that if they're in tune, they will be in tune.
Yes.
But they don't give you the same the purity. With the more flexible reeds, you can hear the harmonics much more clearly. And that's what gives them the timbral brightness or richness, or there's a sort of joy in playing with the harmonics that you don't have. You could call them dull reeds. Okay, that's a bit rude.
They've probably been played an awful lot. You know, they probably their sell-by date is now way
Do you know what?
way past.
I think they were always like that.
Okay.
Okay. And I think that I would always keep them in reserve for those moments where you don't want to have a Ferrari. You just want to have something that just will do precisely, that is a bit more reliable. Now, can you get that?
One more question, Bobby.
Yeah.
Sorry. Position in the mouth. You're quite wide here. What happens if you just put them a little bit closer in the middle? Does that affect pitch and tone?
I suppose I would experiment with different positions,
Yeah.
and try to keep the pitch the same. So.
Yeah.
Is that a good embouchure exercise?
Might be. Well, it would make you have to play in tune, because this obviously is not right, because the reeds are in a ridiculous place in your mouth. They have to be.
Right.
The natural place is a little what's it called? A V shape.
Well, look.
Now,
Why don't you
Okay.
see how you get on with this?
okay. Now I have to change. I play the high pipe in the right hand,
Good.
so I need
Good.
to change the position of the reed because.
And while you're doing that, I will put in my expressive reeds, so we can compare the two, and you can feel the difference.
Okay. Now this is where I have to shift it. So which means I have to take it out.
Rocking backwards and forwards. Now, if I'm doing that this way, I always mark.
Do you put Vaseline in here to ease? See, I'm very nervous about taking it
Okay.
out. I'm
Well,
very
it's because the water has expanded
Yeah.
inside, so it's swelled and
Yeah.
it has tightened up. There you are.
Oh, well done.
So you want to adjust that
Yes.
too. So I should maybe take a little bit more off, and then
it doesn't
put
go
some
in so
cotton
far.
on, so that it's easier to get in and out. I always mark. I have a little L there,
Yes.
and so when I put the reeds in, I always put the L towards me, so that
Yes.
I don't mix up. 180
sides,
degrees.
yes.
So I'm always playing the same way. So I
Yes.
suppose because there's always a slight asymmetry.
That's the same with the oboe reed. There's one way up that works better than the other
Yeah.
because we can't make the two blades identical. It's not possible.
So, just for consistency and getting to know your reed, having sort of established, okay, I'm going to play it that way round. I mark it, and then I'm just totally consistent. It's amazing the memory of the embouchure, how precise these little things do make a difference. We may, of course, be at a slightly different pitch.